added one additional person to the mix, Mr. Albert Preciado, a man who needs no introductions, but we'll give him one anyway. Host of $1 Million Coaching, 5K Mastermind, Driven Event, which is a national event in 2025 rather, is going to be in 13 cities across America. A dear friend of mine. And then to Albert's left, of course, we're doing a second episode with Ricky Carruth, which is just an amazing, amazing real estate professional, a coach, a mentor to many, and it sounds like a budding star in the eXp Realty world. So appreciate you guys being here. The reason why I wanted to have everyone here specifically is because you are, at least in my opinion, Mr. Beverly Hills. You have another nickname for yourself, which is the Mexican George Clooney.
Oh, no. That's a different one. The Mexican Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. In West Philadelphia. Nobody's going to know what that is. We're so old. On a previous episode.
I almost sung that on stage yesterday.
I think people would have loved it because I think agents probably will identify.
Because I was like, how many of you guys are from LA, born and raised?
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, I don't know, a lot of people know this, but we got that in common. Like, I'm from LA too.
What?
Yeah. So like I went through this whole thing and talked, and I was gonna like sing the song a little bit. And I was like, you guys don't believe me?
Yeah.
Right? I was like, I got a picture. Boom. And the next slide was a picture of where I'm from, right? Lower Alabama.
Oh, dude. Okay.
So gotcha. Alabama meets Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Beverly Hill Billy. So you got to cut to, nope, wrong one. Beverly Hill Billy, which is Ricky. There you go. Meet Beverly Hills. Absolutely.
Let's go.
The worlds collide.
The worlds collide. So this is a guy, and I think this is super funny. We're only going to roll for a few minutes, but I founded Carruth, which is the nation's largest privately held commercial finance company. So in my 20 years, our company has funded $8 billion worth of business loans. Mm-hmm. Large company. But I'm no longer involved in the day-to-day of the business. And I have a podcast. And so this is kind of like therapy for me, but it's also philanthropy. Because the mission of the Stern Talk is to meet people who have gone from employee to employer, scaled and found critical mass. And that's really the interest that I have. I want to go all around the nation, not necessarily the world, because I don't like long flights. Very Larry David-ish. If you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, we all turn into the same curmudgeon when we get older, Jews. But I don't like long flights. I don't even like flying to Hawaii. You were telling me you flew to Maui with Brad Lee last year on a private jet. I'll fly United.
But it's cool when you have friends like that.
Yeah.
Because it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
Because you split it.
Sure.
Because he's taking his family, I'm taking my family. $60,000 a piece. And it's not that bad.
Have you been on the private jet, Ricky? I haven't. Mm-hmm. Oh, you have? Damn.
Once or twice, yeah.
But don't you just like the safety, not of the 737 MAX? It's not really a safe plane, especially if you're sitting in.
I don't know. I mean, like if you have two pilots, I mean, I think the stats are like it's safer than driving.
Yeah. No, I'm actually, what I'm talking about is private jet, like a G550 or whatever it's called, versus a Boeing 747. I'd rather be on a 747. Wouldn't you?
You just feel like safer. Because of the size, you just feel like if it crashes, there's a lot of
400 people aren't going to die, but you know what I mean? But like a lot of small planes.
Correct. Yeah, but not the Gulfstream is not like that small.
Yeah.
It's
well, in any event, another time, another place. But again, Beverly Hills meets Beverly Hillbillies, but both are both are real estate gurus. Both are real estate gurus. Both have been in real estate, sounds like, for the last 20 years. And both have built scale, right?
Well, me, I was a mortgage guy.
Okay.
And my wife, she was a real estate agent.
Is it always the wife as a real estate agent?
Yeah. So she wanted to start a real estate brokerage. So that's when we started our real estate brokerage, Ambiance Realty.
Okay.
And then from there on, we started getting more agents, and then we started growing, and then we opened the escrow company. So, but I was never really a realtor. Like I didn't like real estate because I didn't like open houses and carrying signs, and I was more of a numbers game, not numbers guy. So I liked working with realtors to provide them mortgages, but I didn't like the real estate activities.
Yeah.
My wife did.
Really? As a man, I feel like the transactional approach to real estate would irk me and would get on my nerves, and I'd run out of patience.
You could do open houses, cold calling.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
You know, I don't want to say but we built Carruth, right, in 2004. I worked for Fisher Investments, which I don't know if you know who Fisher Investments is, but one of the largest high net worth private client asset managers in the world. They manage like $500 billion, and it's owned by one guy. So I worked in the Bay Area for him, right? Did very well. But when you work at a small company that makes a ton of money, you get like the inside track on how everything is done. Does that make sense? And it's sort of a breeding ground for entrepreneurs. He was a big junk mailer. And I know in the real estate game,
Junk mailer meaning
direct mail.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. If you're in a business that's
This was when 90s.
Dude, do I look that fucking old? He just said the 90s.
I mean,
2004,
direct mail,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, early 2000s. I mean,
Yeah, early 2000s is when I worked there.
because I mean, social media hit mid 2000s, you know, and it really didn't really.
iPhone was 08, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I'm just
Well, that's where I got my background, right? And this is not about me, but I'm just saying like sales, if you own a sales and marketing firm, direct mail, but insiders would call it junk mail, right? Third class postage, right? Is a big component, right, of the sales strategy. Mm-hmm. Is it still today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have to be super strategic.
Okay.
I don't think Albert, you're sending out mailers?
No.
He's on social media with
Mine is
Ferrari.
like almost all social media.
Right. Yeah. And is it similar for you, Ricky? Because the idea is double dragons. We're going head to head.
It depends on what you're trying to do, right? Like what's the goal? What are you? Are you mortgage? Are you real estate? You know, what role are you playing? And what
how
are you
about
trying
you, specific to your example?
of what?
Like,
being
would you-
for an agent?
No, I mean, you know,
Like me, I'm on social.
Yeah.
Like I just do social, like for my businesses.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like when I'm talking to agents, like agents are scared to cold call.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you can do a handwritten letter, handwrite the envelope, handwrite the return address, right? They are going to open that and you've got their attention and that will make the phone ring.
but you're going to get, 0.2% as a response.
No, we have a good 5 to 10% callback rate. Yeah.
That's pretty
so
good.
I'm sending out 100 letters. I'm going to get 5 to 10 people, owners to call me.
And these are the people that you're mailing. Are they specifically like for sale by owner type thing?
No.
Okay.
It's just, I have a, prospect for this area. Boom.
Got it. So it's like I'm representing a home that's 4,000 square feet.
No.
And then you're
No, the
targeting-
opposite. So now I have the buyer in my pocket looking for what you have.
Oh, okay. I like that too. So
Right?
it's
We
more
were
like,
talking on the earlier podcast and, they were like, well, what's the angle? And for me, okay, I can go out and sell any listing I want to today. And how do I do that? Well, say I have I could do this with anything, luxury, anything, commercial, whatever it is. I'm going to look at the listing and I'm going to pull up all the owners that own a lesser home around it.
Right.
Right.
I love
it's
this
a
strategy.
5-bedroom.
Yeah.
Right. I'm calling all the 3 and 4s saying, hey, I see you've got a 3. Do you need a 4-bed? Do you need a 5-bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a really nice one I'd love to show you. Now, I'm not calling to take something. The perception is agents think that they're calling to convince somebody to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're scared to make calls because they're programmed and brainwashed with the 1980s scripts that are still around. When what I try to do is help them understand reality, which is we're trying to bring value. I'm trying to help you live a better quality of life. I'm trying to give you a bigger, nicer home with a better view. Are you thinking about doing that? And now these are the most prime prospects because they're going to buy that and they're going to sell this. Now I just did 2 deals with one motion.
Yeah, because you sound like you want to help them.
It doesn't sound like it. It's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to sound like it. I am trying to help them live.
The old scripts are more like, do you want to sell? Do you want to sell? Not how can I help you?
Exactly. So I built my entire business on just calling property owners and saying a house sold in your area, calling to see if there's something I can do to help. Now in 2014, 15, 16, that worked great.
Right.
Because everybody's thinking about moving and their mortgage rates were the same as when they bought their house.
Right.
Now everybody's sitting on 4% mortgage rates. Nobody wants to sell. Even if they wanted to, they really can't because mortgage rates are 7 and they're sitting on 4. So that whole what can I do to help you thing doesn't work like it did when I was coming up. You've got to call with intentions now,
right?
Situations and urgency around either I've got a buyer for your place and actually have one, or I have a really nice house if you're thinking about upgrading, or I have this really great investment property that's cash flowing. You've got to call with something that you're offering,
some value,
of value now.
Now, Ricky, so you are the one getting the business. Do you have a team? You have a large team?
I'm out of production. I did it for 20 years.
So
I was the number one
team.
I was the number one Remax agent in Alabama for a long time.
Yeah.
I was number one in my MLS for a long time. Just single agent, no team.
Yeah.
I was the listing agent, buyer agent, everything. And then when I stepped out, my dad handles the day-to-day, and it's just him and the assistant. He just does the day-to-day. There's not a whole lot of business there. Right. But I do way better coaching, speaking, writing, producing content.
And you have a large downline there with EXP?
I do. I'm at 850 some odd agents.
How much does that more or less like bring in a month? Like
50, 60K.
50, 60K?
Yeah.
And that's passive, right?
Totally passive. No expenses, no liability, no nothing. And I can take it to 5,000, 10,000 agents. It doesn't.
I mean, the more speaking gigs you do,
it doesn't break.
Right?
Well, I don't promote it. I don't talk about EXP on social. I don't do anything to build EXP.
Interesting.
Everything is focused around Ricky and building my personal brand, right? And the coaching business.
How long did it take you to get to 800 agents?
Well, I got to 1,000 actually by about 2 years. So it was about 2 years I got to 1,000. And then when the market shifted, I got my ass kicked.
Yeah.
And it went down to about 770 or so. And now I'm back on the upswing. I'm back up to about 850.
Yeah.
But you don't change your lifestyle based on that cash flow, do you?
No, absolutely not.
No.
I haven't changed my life. I mean, you could give me $10 million.
Like a Jewish guy.
My lifestyle wouldn't change at all.
You probably make way more money coaching than speaking though, right?
Yeah, I do. But it all plays together.
Yeah.
Right. It all plays together, and it all plays a part, and all boats are rowing in the same direction now. Yeah. I was a free coach, totally free for 7 years.
It's a good story. Yeah.
When I got in, I was like, I'm going to charge. But then I realized agents, the ones that are struggling, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, let me go free and actually build a brand.
Yeah.
And then I'll build some businesses around that. Did it for 7 years. In December, I finally switched to paid, and it's blown up. I mean, I switched to just free to $100 a month.
Yeah.
And I already have 600 agents in just 2 months doing that.
Yeah.
And it's just 2 months in. I've just built such a big brand.
And these 800 agents, just to keep it simple, how many of those agents close? Is it you close a deal a month? Let's say, do you think it's
200-ish?
Yeah,
200-ish. Yeah, depending on the month, 200-ish.
Yeah, and then obviously it's like sometimes it's higher than other months. Like they'll close more, you'll make more, or is that the average?
Yeah, no, it actually goes because like I've got agents all over the country and in other countries, and so it actually kind of it's pretty correlated to the national seasonality of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, pending deals start picking up mid-January every year nationally.
Right, yeah.
And then closings start picking up mid-February because of the pendings close. And so it kind of dips, ebbs and flows with those national numbers. Every market's local and is different from the national, data. But because I have agents all over the country, other countries and stuff, it's very correlated. So like, December, January, February are kind of lower months than March, April, May, June.
So you get more. You probably make more from the bigger states because they have bigger deals.
Never really broke it down to states, but the thing is you're capped. You make like if they cap, which is 80,000 gross. They've paid the company 16. You don't make any more off them until the next year when the cap resets. You make out of that 16. So you don't make money on every deal. You make money until they get through capping.
So you're capped too. Basically,
what?
Your income is capped off of their cap.
No, because I can bring on as many agents as I want.
Yeah.
So yes,
it's
capped on
it's
them
capped
for the
year
per
that agent.
But he has to
So
you have to keep bringing in new agents so that you never run out of the cap.
Well,
can you make money on their downline?
Yes.
No, that's interesting.
Yes. See, that's the thing. I've brought in 122.
Yeah.
It's turned into 850.
I like that.
Oh, okay.
I like
right.
The others brought more.
Well, and I helped them. Right, I help them bring them in.
But you make less on the ones they bring in?
No, I make more on the ones I bring in. Then I start making a little S the next couple levels. I make the most on the bottom, which is the 7th. So, 7 level, that's a lot. I mean, after like the 2nd or 3rd level, you don't even know who they are. Like when you pull up my thing, my back office, there's deals. I have no idea who the agents are.
Yeah.
Do you have their contact info?
Yeah, I have it all right there.
Can you leverage that info to send them a cold email saying like, I'm Ricky.
Who?
They already know who
The
Ricky
one at the
is.
bottom
The
level.
agent?
Well, the ones that you've never met before.
Like I send them emails constantly. I send my entire organization emails about my coaching calls.
There we go. Okay,
yeah,
good. All right.
Like I do all that.
Do you have your 800 people under your coaching also? You coach them?
Yeah,
everybody in my organization has access to me 24/7.
Is that free?
It's free.
Free.
Yeah, free.
That's the benefit.
So it really played into what I was doing because I was coaching for free. And then when I was like, I'm going to do my own brokerage. But I was like, wait a minute, I could still have a brick and mortar, bring on agents locally just like I would, but I don't have liability of them. And now I can expand anywhere I want to for free all over the world. And I'm going to have equity. Okay, sign me up for this. And so it played well because I was already coaching agents for free. So I was already in that mode. Mm-hmm. So now I can even use this to extend the free coaching even more on more of a one-on-one basis versus before it was more of a group. Right. Group one-on-one, it was more group coaching. With this, I can actually coach them one-on-one for free, which I still do, even though I'm charging for coaching, to the general public of agents. When they join the brokerage, it's free, right? Yeah. And they get one-on-one, which nobody gets one-on-one. Yeah. Like I don't even do one-on-one. Like you can't even pay me to do one-on-one. Yeah. I'm not going to do one-on-ones until I'm like it's $100,000 for a session.
Right.
Which I'm not there yet.
I tried to tell you last week and he was like, nah, I don't know. And then luckily you were here about EXP, how it worked, but you broke it down for him pretty well.
Listen, it's a polarizing subject, right? Because the agents that are out there, they're part of the company that throw up EXP on people, like, oh, you got to join, you got to look at this and whatever. And people kind of get irked by it or whatever. And so there's this it's polarizing. Like you either love it, right? Because you realize what it is, or you hate it. Because either you're a brokerage owner and you're losing agents to them, or you're an agent who's been approached a million times and it just seems sleazy or whatever.
Real quick, I don't want to interrupt, but help me to understand, because we didn't talk about this. Compass, right? Which was, backed by SoftBank. Yeah. What's the difference between Compass, which
you can't like build an organization there unless it's like a traditional team.
Okay. So it's like a Remax.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
It's a traditional brokerage.
Because it was hot for a moment. In my area, specifically in Southern California, Compass was taking over.
They were buying agents.
Yeah.
They were paying for them.
That's so interesting. I mean, you would see a deluge of direct mail, right? Yeah. That stuff's expensive, right?
They were going in the hole to try to build their brand and build their company. And now it's like, how are they going to dig out of it? But I don't know that they actually built the company to be a profitable company or just something to drive investors to invest in to raise money. Yeah.
Is Compass publicly traded? Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
Well, what about that other company, Real? Have you heard about them?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, all about them.
Are they very? It seems like they copied EXP and made it a little
company.
Bit sweeter.
Do what?
And made it a little bit sweeter, like by a little bit.
Tried to, but they really screwed it up. It's
They never hit you up like, hey, Ricky, come join us?
No.
Not yet.
But they have, and I mean, other agents, and they'll offer these big stock incentives and stuff. But like,
they're public as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
these are like small cap stocks I've never heard of, right? These are like $1 billion.
Definitely real.
It's the new thing,
I mean, EXP's on the S&P 600, small cap 600.
600.
Yeah. Got it. So like Real, they copied them. So they basically said, hey, we're going to go in here and do a lower cap. 16 to EXP, we'll do 12 here. And so they're like, oh, that'll be more attractive for agents. It's a lower cap. They're going to save $4,000 a year. But the rev share that you pay the agents that built the organizations comes out of the cap. So when
Can you explain that to me?
So like when I go out and bring agents into the company, okay, I'm making a cut off of their cap, out of the 16,000, right. So I make a piece of that, right. So if you lower the cap, what does that lower?
I see. It makes your downline lower as well.
Yeah, I make a lot less off my downline.
Yeah. Understood.
So
it's 25% less or something.
So with the EXP, it's 7 levels deep. Right, with Real, it's 5 levels. So you lose 2 levels. Now those bottom levels eventually will be your largest 2 by far. Mm-hmm. Right, we're talking about hundreds of thousands a month that you're losing not having those 2 if you build a massive organization. But even on the 5, you make a lot less on those 5. Mm-hmm. Right, the way that they have it set up. There's a lot of differences in they made it to where you can have 2 sponsors. Like that. Because
I'd like to go to an event, hear Ricky speak, and be like, "Fuck, I
want that guy."
Yeah, I want that guy.
We have to do it in the beginning. You can't choose it later.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's
fine. But for the sponsors, like now I'm getting half. So when you're building your organization, it kind of dilutes it, right? So it's not good. It's good. It might be good for you, but it's not good for me as as running the organization, right? So it was already diluted from the cap being lower. Now you're diluting it even more by giving agents an option to choose to just give me half.
I can see it from both sides,
right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we could go on and on and on about it.
And then the cap resets, right? Every 12 months?
Every year,
yeah.
Because what's the percentage of the realtors that actually hit the cap? Because to hit 16,000,
you have to have 80,000 gross.
Yeah.
And is that hard? In California, you sell one home.
The average realtor makes how much?
You're asking me?
$50K.
$300,000 a year, maybe?
It's $50K. Nationally, the average is like $50K, $52K.
I would kill myself.
I think in certain states, like it's up to like I think 90,000 is the biggest state. Yeah. Like average agent makes like 90K.
Yeah.
Just go back to go back to being a cocktail waitress.
So the top producers are going to hit the cap, but like most agents won't hit the cap.
Yeah. I mean, like here's the thing with brokerages and owning these nationwide brokerages and stuff. You can't just you can't have like this massive company with tens of thousands of agents,
no money either,
and have just top producers.
Yeah.
Like your model has to fit around being profitable around the average of the agents, right? You know what I mean? It's just like, when you figure out what you're going to make per agent in your organization, like it's got to be an average of the highest producers and the non-producers all figured in there, right? And now you're working on the averages of law numbers versus, I'm just going to build a team of 100 agents who are all do 200,000 a year.
Does anyone ever try to like build an organization just like, I'm only going to let you in my organization if you're a super agent?
They don't have to, because it doesn't cost them a dime to bring anybody into their organization. There's zero expenses. So what does it matter? We're going to bring them in and we're going to try to help them become a superstar.
Yeah.
Now, 90% of agents fail. Why is that? Well, because not everybody has what it takes to actually go out there and do it. I can't make them do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it for them.
Yeah.
I can give them the blueprint. I can tell them exactly how to go make $1 million a year because I did it. And I've helped a lot of agents do it. I can show them how to do it and it's real simple. I could explain it in 5 minutes.
I want to hear.
The whole thing is talking to people in the market, right, about what they want to do, why they want to do it, and helping them do it, right?
Yeah.
Now, they don't want to do anything. Okay, great. Right? I'd love to work with you later when you do. Is that okay to stay in touch? Cool. What's a good email? Now, all I do is a weekly email on the same day of the week forever for my entire database.
What day do you send that out?
Wednesday.
Why Wednesday?
No reason. It doesn't matter what day you do it. Right now we're getting into the stuff and this is what agents do. They start trying to dissect everything that doesn't matter.
I like Wednesday though, because it's not the beginning and it's not the end.
I don't know why I picked Wednesday, but it's like in the beginning of the week, they're coming home they're coming back from the weekend trying to get their thing going. At the end of the week, they're like excited about the weekend. Like in the middle, it seems like that would be a good day.
So that's why we have our trainings here Wednesdays. Because Monday is people are getting better from the weekend.
Slow to move.
Some of them are hungover.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, it's like the middle point.
He looked at me when he said hungover. I don't even drink.
Basically, the premise of it is when you're a new agent, year one, your whole business is the leads you met that year. Because you don't have any past stuff going on. This is your first year.
Sure.
You do the weekly email. Now those new leads from year one become warm leads year two. They remember who you are. Now, what would you say is the best way to stay relevant with people in your database?
They have to see you constantly.
How though? What's the platform? What action does an agent take to make sure that they stay relevant with everyone they ever talk to forever?
Social media?
I'm asking the Beverly Hills.
What I have my agents do is they go live. They go live on their social media, and they do it.
I'm gonna change your life, bro. Are you ready for this?
5 times a week.
I'm gonna change your life.
I'm interested.
Social media. What's the organic reach on social media?
Well, you're limited by impressions.
No. I'm just wondering, what is the organic reach of social media?
The
amount of your followers let's just say Instagram, whatever.
1%, 2%.
1%, 2%. Yeah. Now, social media, can you take the people that you've talked to, put them into
CRM?
This? No. We're talking about social media. Mm-hmm. You say you go live, and that's how you make sure you're relevant with everyone. When you do, 1% of people see it. So can you put your database in social media and ensure that every single one of those people see you and you stay relevant with them forever on social media?
How the fuck do you do that?
Can't. That's his point.
You can't.
Email you.
Listen, if social media has a 1% organic reach, let's say it's 5 or 10, right? Email has 90% of the people in your database. So when people come into your social media ecosystem, right? Yeah. And you guys know this because you do it. You'll follow someone because you like their stuff, right? Because you like the video they did. So you'll see them for like a week or two, but you didn't really engage with their content. So then what happens? You stop seeing their content. If somebody's not engaging with the content, the feed's only this big.
I totally
get it.
So
the algorithm's going to show you what you do engage with. So now you've slowly forgotten about this person that you followed 3 weeks before.
This is a good point about stories too, because a lot of people think they can manipulate to having a larger impression share by posting to stories often.
Here's the trap that agents run into, and really all business people. They think that social media is the place where they stay relevant forever to people. There's a core group of your followers that engage with you that do see your stuff probably forever, right? But then there's this bigger group of your following that doesn't see your stuff, and you don't even know it. You're posting, you think everybody sees your stuff. Nobody sees your stuff. Yeah. And so the whole point is when somebody follows you, you got to get their data right then, their email.
Yeah.
Right. And you got to do this weekly email, because now when you get that, now you see emails. When you go on your phone and look at social media, what's the physical motion that you do?
Swipe.
Yeah.
Right. When you check your email on your phone, what's the physical motion that you do?
Same thing.
So what is it? It's the same thing. Email is social media. You're looking through a feed to see if something stands out to engage with.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. The only difference is you own it. And now 90% of those people are going to see you every Wednesday, no matter if they engage or not.
What email automation software do you use?
I don't use automation.
What?
No, I write the emails. I told you that on last podcast.
Like automation.
How do you send it out?
Attentive, Klaviyo.
Because one thing that helps really well
automation
is you create like a free, I don't know if you've done this, but you create a free.
I'm so confused.
You create a free webinar, for like coaching, real estate, and then you run an ad for that, and then you collect their emails, their cell phones, their names,
right.
And then what I add is what is the top line revenue, because then if somebody makes $10,000, they're probably not going to buy a house. They're not going to.
I could care less what somebody. I'm putting every single person I've ever communicated with in this database to get my stuff,
and I still do that.
Yeah.
But when you have the top line revenue, now you know who actually is a qualified buyer, and obviously the other people can probably give you a referral. But we collect all those leads, the emails, the cell phones. They go into Go High Level, and then right there is you trap him. Then you could email blast, text blast.
Don't use that word, trap.
And how often do you send emails out?
Every day.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Every day to your whole database?
Yeah.
What is that?
So sometimes like 2 times or 3 times a day.
So these are potential clients that could buy or sell?
Or coaching clients, or
yes, but the thing is that we're not only looking for coaching for real estate or for mortgage. We have escrow. So there's different products. So
and the driven event.
The driven event. It depends on the email campaign or whatever the campaign is. But there's just a lot of products that we offer.
It sounds like there's congruency between what you guys do.
Well, listen, here's the thing. I mean, you're getting into coaching and all this other stuff. Like I do coaching, like for my coaching, like agents, I do emails every single day as well. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about for real estate clients when it comes to agents staying relevant with their clientele. Right. So that's 2 different things. So like I do emails every single day to my real estate agents.
Yeah, I think you guys are in agreement. He's talking about like different campaigns working at different times, different cadences.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to understand software wise, like what software do you use to send?
I use Constant Contact to send out my email.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
You don't like Constant?
Which one do we use, Anthony?
That's not an enterprise level software company.
No, it's not.
Klaviyo?
Yeah.
No, it literally just sends an email.
We use Klaviyo.
Yeah, Klaviyo is a new one. Attentive is another great one.
I don't even know which one we use.
These are like large enterprise level, but still affordable. MailChimp's in the same boat as Constant Contact.
It is.
It's like the Sherry's Berries of email platforms.
Yep.
But if it works, it works. If it works,
all I'm trying to do is send out an email.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I'm trying to do.
You don't have you don't also fold in SMS marketing or anything like that. Is that like TCP
I do it for my real
stuff?
estate. I do it for my coaching business.
Yeah.
Right.
SMS is, I mean, you're talking about like you can only monetize eyeballs like 1% of your social following, but with SMS.
Because I never open my emails.
I don't read email.
So like, what's the percentage of emails being opened versus text messages?
A lot higher on text messages.
And this is why I push, like when I speak to entrepreneurs about their business, the first thing I ask them is, do you have an app? Do you have an app? And I think, you're speaking very eloquently about a reality that most agents just aren't aware of. They're like, well, I'll go on social media. I'll monetize eyeballs that way. I'll go live on YouTube, live on Instagram, live on TikTok. I'll show them lifestyle photos and videos of
and it's great. And they need to be doing that. But as the people come through, they need to collect the data now. Their cell phone, their email, they need to collect that data before they lose them in the algorithmic.
Well, when I do the lives, and I get people that are interested in something, I'm like, hey, DM me right now your cell phone and email. And then boom, the CRM just collects the data. 98% text messages have an open rate of 98%, emails 19.8%.
That's pretty dead on.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about open rates, right?
Yeah.
Now impressions mean something. See, when somebody hears that, they say, okay, text message over emails, done deal. No. 98% of people saw the email in their inbox. All of them didn't open it. That's an open rate.
Yeah, you still stay relevant.
So like, how many eyeballs did you get? See, impressions. See, that's the thing. What agents are like, post about their open house, and they're like, oh, I got 15 likes or whatever. Right? No. Go into View Insights and see that 700 people saw it. Now that means something. Just because they didn't double tap doesn't mean that they don't see you grinding at that open house. They just didn't double tap on it. People don't, it's like they don't even value the impressions, like the actual people that saw it.
They don't understand.
Right? The likes is like the only metric. No. Same thing with emails, right? People are like, oh, well, if somebody isn't opening the email, how long do I let them stay on the list before
So for example, not the accounts reached 2.5 million, but the impressions 4.7 million.
Can you airplay that somehow so that we can see it on the screen? Because every time we film an episode,
if you can airdrop it to the
what TV is this?
No, because it's gonna
screenshot it, airdrop it to
you.
Airdrop it to my man.
To the
what you're saying though, Ricky, is like so spot on. Do you speak on stage about this?
Everything.
Okay, because the social media component is so important. Listen, I come from a background of, like I said, right, junk mail. And then now we're the largest advertiser of business loans on social media, even on Google. And I can tell you that it really has to be a mosaic. You were talking earlier in the episode previously about everybody rowing in the same direction. With social media, right, you need to have YouTube, right, long form content, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, go live, Instagram, go live.
This is
all of those things have to be working.
Last 30 days.
So
accounts reached 2.5, almost 2.6 million, but the impressions are 4.7.
Which means those people saw like two posts or whatever.
But that's huge. 2.5 million.
Oh, it's massive. Yeah,
it's massive. That's a big reach.
Yeah.
That's a big reach.
I normally hit a million every 30 days.
But I think if you're an EXP guy, right, and you have a coaching platform, that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming to.
If you have anything, if you have any business.
Even Carruth.
Well, let's keep it specific to you guys. Let's just specific to real estate. If you don't have impressions, then you can't monetize eyeballs, right? But
it's not directly correlated. I know guys that have 3 million impressions and don't make shit. And I know people have the smallest followings and you're like, what the hell? And they're doing $1 million a month.
Rick Moranis is a good example. Does he have social media?
No, he doesn't do social at all. Right. And now he's into big commercial deals now. This is 10 years ago when all that happened. Yeah. I didn't tell you guys the rest of the story. Like he did all that, like that first month with for sale by owners and stuff, which was like, what the hell's going on? He quickly transitioned into commercial deals and now does huge commercial deals all over the Southeast.
But it still sounds like you need a email database. If I'm a brand new real estate agent, I need social, but most importantly, I need an email.
I think you got to do everything.
Here's the you do need to do everything, but you need to know why you're doing the stuff though. Like if you're just doing social and you're just like, oh, whatever comes, and I don't even know why I'm doing this. Am I attracting buyers, sellers? What's the actual goal? That's why I said it's like, what is the goal behind it? I need to know that first before you can reverse engineer what the steps need to be.
And this is why people need coaches. That's why 90% of real estate agents, like you said, fail in the first year, right? It's kind of like a restaurant.
You know what's so funny about that though? The people that are going to lose, you can spend 24 hours a day with them. They're still going to lose.
You think that's true?
I do believe that. And the people that are going to win, you could spend 0 time with them. They're still going to win. I've seen it over and over and over again. Can you enhance it? Yes. Can you help them get there quicker? Absolutely. Can you take some of the losers and a small percentage of them? But I'm telling you,
let's not use the word loser.
I think they have to be coachable and they have to execute.
Nature versus nurture.
Most people are not coachable.
And you had a coach, right? You had Patrick Bet-David, and you have these other mentors and stuff.
Grant Cardone.
Yeah. Like I've interviewed all these people. Would you have succeeded without them?
I don't think at this level, fast.
Sure,
but
sure.
I would have.
You would have won. You would have won.
Yeah.
You would have won.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to be a winner regardless. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Can it enhance it? Yes, absolutely. That's why you need coaches and stuff.
How about
you?
Did you have a coach?
No.
See. Yeah.
When I could I be further along? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No one's being critical of that. I think what Josh is trying to say, which is like, can you succeed without the coach?
Absolutely.
Right?
Winners are going to win.
Yeah.
Winners are going to win. Could they win bigger? Yeah. Right. Is the level of success.
But this is what goes back to my mom's a hairstylist and owns a hair salon. My dad's a roofer, right? And one is aspirational. The latter is more conservative, right? The dad.
Yeah.
And so you have an entrepreneurial mindset already straight out of the gates at 10 years old, which is what you said to me, right?
Yeah.
I'm a good listener. Jews, we remember everything, right?
Kind of.
1940 to 1945. It's a fucking thing.
Don't worry, he knows all.
It's PTSD. No, I know all the dates. But in any event, you had the seed planted in you at a very early age. You said winners are going to win. But I think what the coaching does, and here I am talking about Gold Bar Live. Is it Gold Bar Live?
Mm-hmm.
Gold Bar Live, ZeroToDiamond.com, right? Driven and your coaching platform. Everyone doesn't have to achieve the same scale, right, in life. But there needs to be an aspirational wish, something that they want to achieve. And they have to be able to identify with that coach. Whether or not they can ever achieve your level of success is irrelevant. But they need someone to kind of paint the picture. This is what you can become, right? It's the future conditional sense.
And that could be somebody they found on YouTube.
It can be, but the problem with the coaching that is, I feel like, is not personalized to people's specific profession. Right? We're talking about real estate.
You can find
right
that.
Now. Yeah. Well,
as far as like the inspiration, dude, you don't know how many agents were like, I wasn't in real estate. I saw one of your videos and I basically said, if that guy can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And now they make $1 million a year. I never talk to them. They tell me this after. They tell me this after the fact, right? Yeah. After it happens, they'll message me and say, hey, I saw you. It made me want to get in real estate. You made it seem possible. I make $1 million a year now. Yeah. I followed your stuff step by step.
And that's the thing. It's the step by step. So one, there needs to be some aspirational sense that I want to be this. I want to do this. But the foundational element, right? And this is kind of what you provide. And this is what, right, I'm understanding about your platform, which is systems, processes, marketing, like understanding that I'm going to email on Wednesday. Why? There's no fucking reason.
No, and this is the rest of the story, right? Just to sum all that 5-minute talk up and how to make $1 million a year. It's the retention of relationships. If there's a process in place where these people never forget me, regardless, I know every single person I talk to is going to remember me 3 years later when they buy or sell something. And so now the new leads I got year one become warm leads, but now I added new leads on top of that. So now I grew. If I continue prospecting year 3, now I have 2 years of leads that are coming over with me because I have something like email in place, not depending on just social media, right? Because they may forget, they could forget about me there. There's a possibility. There's so much room for stuff to fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Right. And so now I can like visualize my business growing like this every single year because of the retention of the compounding relationships that build up over time. Now I can actually visualize getting to $1 million a year.
Going back to social media for me, it's not to stay relevant. It's more to get new people.
Absolutely. That's the whole point. So get the new people, get the data, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So for example, like some videos sometimes go viral and you have like 1 million non-followers that see it.
Yep.
So then you collect the data and then that's your data now.
And what's cool about that is now if you have a product or something you want to sell them, you run ads against the people that watch the video or follow you or whatever. Yeah. You're building this database where now when you run ads, when you finally come to the day where there's something you want to run ads against, wow, right? You've collected all this data internally.
Yeah, I think, without that level of coaching to explain to people that these are the building blocks of building a real business. I think when people think about real estate, they're like, I'll just go out and show a home, or I'll, find someone to sell a home for them.
Because they grew up in a W-2 environment.
Right.
They grew up in an environment where they get paid whether there's production or not. They show up and they get a check.
Yeah.
Right. And so they get into real estate and they're like, I'll just show homes and I'll get a check.
Yeah. But they don't realize that it's an actual fucking business
and that they're an independent contractor now and you get paid on production.
Right.
And that's why there's so much failure. People are so used to W-2 life when they switch to 1099. Right. Then it's like they can't get their footing quick enough to get their bills taken care of. Right. To continue to be successful. It takes the transition from W-2 to 1099 is such a curve.
It's a bumpy road, right?
It is.
It's a steep learning curve, but it's so attractive. It's so attractive when you see the success of certain real estate agents, and that's aspirationally what you want to achieve, right? I get an email every week and it says, do you want to know what your home is worth? This is the best one. I don't know what software this is. And it's like, your home price has increased. I am going to open up that fucking email 100 times out of 100 times. If you send me an email in the subject line that says your home's value has increased, I'm opening it. And then I open the email. There's a pixel in the email. It fires. It sends a notification to the agent. They're understanding what their open rates are. Then I'm further clicking the button in the email, the CTA, right? The call to action. It's opening up a website, my browser. They're also pixelizing that. I click the button, home is worth. And the whole while, this is a real estate agent that I've already worked with before. They're monetizing my eyeballs. I might not be in the market to sell, but if you tell me that my home, in my opinion, is overvalued, all right, regardless of the interest rate, I'll consider it, right? And so I think what's missing though in that automation is I open up that email every week. And then I click the button and then I see my home values increase. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe it's once a month because cadence is important too. But what I don't see with their email automation software is that there's a follow-up. Like I should get an email or a text message that says, hey, bud, real estate's gone up in your area, right? We should talk. I might have a property that's 10 bedrooms, 20 bedrooms, whatever the case may be, right? You keep popping out kids. Let's find you a bigger, right? So it's that email automation with text automation, everything has to be kind of rowing in the same direction. And that's a fucking business, right? And I think, if a gal, and this is going to come off misogynistic, but if a gal is selling bottle service at a club, wants to make the transition to real estate agent at 30, right? Probably because she's not hot enough anymore, right? To be selling bottle service. Or she's got kids and needs
some hot ones at 30.
That's disgusting. I'm out. But anyway, in any event, no, it's clickbait for YouTube. It's fine. But they need to understand that there's that, like Ricky said, there's a transition going from W-2 to 1099. But even more than that, if you're actually trying to succeed, foundational elements, right, that are within this business of being a real estate agent that you can't ignore. Yeah. Social, which is something you do. But Ricky's touching upon email, which is a huge component. And he was making fun of me about the direct mail thing because
no, it wasn't.
It's from the 90s, but
no, it wasn't at all. Oh, I coach this.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Direct mail.
Yeah, I think it's valuable. You
just have it's just for me, unless you're doing these masterful, expensive pieces that like Jordan Cohen does.
Not like postcards.
Right. Well, postcards, but like these big ones that are like very high production, luxurious, unless you're doing something like that.
Postcard.
It just kind of depends, right?
Well, I think I could take Albert's Ferrari right now and get more leads than I would if I did a direct mail campaign.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's the Beverly Hills versus the Beverly Hillbillies, right?
Yeah.
But I think, it just depends on what your model is. I think for Albert, nice drop in. I think for Albert, right, the Ferrari is going to appeal to certain people.
And that's why he parks it out front.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're monetizing those eyeballs.
Yeah.
But the email can't be ignored. The SMS can't be ignored.
It all plays
Junk
together.
mail,
Yeah.
So everything that we're talking about, I do and some.
Yeah.
So I do SMS, I do email. I have a Discord group.
Now we're talking. Okay.
I have every little thing you can think of. I've got a community on every little platform. Yeah.
Telegram.
Yeah.
Discord.
Yep.
Bumble.
Rumble. I'm on there. I haven't really done much with it yet.
You recommend this for all real estate
YouTube.
agents. It's a newer.
Yeah.
Is it newer? Okay.
Yeah. So all agents should do this. They should establish this.
To be on every platform?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Because you can't, I've been doing this for 20 years. I did it in stages, right? So when I started social, I just focused on Facebook.
But if you're
for a while, agent, then I did Instagram. Then I stair stepped it. And now everybody says, oh my God, you're everywhere. How do you do all this stuff? Well, 7 years of slowly stacking something else as soon as I, master this one. It's not like I started posting on all platforms day one.
For Instagram and Facebook, and do you post? Do you make your posts? You type them up, or how often do you post?
I do it every day, at least
once a day.
At least, yeah.
But you post it yourself and you type it up.
Yeah,
that's wild. He has bought himself.
I answer
all
the DMs. I do all the stuff. Yeah.
If you're going to get to a point, or maybe you already have, you just won't acknowledge it.
Well, when it doesn't work mathematically, if I can't get to all the DMs and stuff mathematically, that's what it is.
How many platforms do you post on daily?
All of them.
How many?
Oh my God, so much.
Okay. I mean,
you got Instagram, Facebook, email, Twitter, Discord, the text message, TikTok.
Oh my God, that's so much work.
LinkedIn.
I'm having a panic attack.
YouTube.
YouTube too. Do you do long form YouTube? Right,
yeah.
Because you have a podcast.
Yeah.
And then who clips up your YouTube?
I do.
You're a machine.
All right, we got to.
So I go through the videos and I'll pick the clips I want to make.
Okay, and you'll hand it over to someone. These are the timestamps. Make the clips.
Right.
No cheesy overlays.
Right.
Dollar signs with dollars following.
Right. Well, we're still testing stuff. The algorithm is so all over the place.
Yeah.
Right. So stuff like that where was cranking a year ago.
Right.
And now it's not working as good. And so I'm so when I do video, when I do videos where I just talk and it's it took me 60 seconds to film it and post it and everything.
Yeah.
Those crush more than anything.
Authentic.
Right.
Authentic.
Let me show you something really quick. Can you put that up, please, Anthony? So my team, they are the ones that cut clips and clip them together.
Yeah.
So for example, that one is at what, 1.7 million views, 1.6 something. That one got 41,000 shares, 3,000, almost 4,000 comments, and you see 1.6 million non-followers saw that clip. Mm-hmm. That post that my team put together with the cover, the muse, the trending song, and all that got me about 20,000 new followers.
Yeah.
Can I see what that clip looks like? Is there any way to see it?
But that sounds way easier than open house. Getting eyeballs.
It's weird. I think we're in an age, Ricky, because like you said, right, the algorithm is a living, breathing, it's an ocean, right? And it's ever moving. And I think you can't just stick to one style.
You always have to reinvent.
But I think the one thing that's really hitting well with people right now, especially for the real estate content that I see, because it used to be, and Josh and I would always joke about this, it was a picture of a husband and wife, 2 kids, and a dog, and they're holding up a sold sign, and it looks like they sold the children. And it was the most awkward bullshit you would ever see real estate agents post, but they had no creativity, or at least they didn't want to employ it. What I see working right now is the authenticity. I want to see a video of a real estate agent inside of an open house with nobody there. I want to see that. I want to understand what it feels like. I want to understand what they did and what they should have done. And I want them to talk about that. And I would watch a video about that.
And that's what agents are scared. They're scared to show that side.
Right.
You know,
but I think that's where we're at. Remember, I don't know, how are you, like almost 40?
Yeah, 42.
You're 42? Okay. So we're all roughly the same age, although you said I was doing something in the 90s, but it's fine.
I was doing stuff in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was in middle school, high school.
Fuck.
I was painting homes.
He was laying a roof. He was saying I was junk mailing people in the 90s or something with Ray Dalio or something. It's fucking bullshit. Okay. In any event, but I think the authenticity component is important. And I think my point that I was going to say, which is it was the flashiness. This is my rented Bentley in front of the home that I'm listing for sale. And I'm going to wet the driveway with the hose with some nice lighting at like the Blue Hour or something. But now I feel like it's more of, do you remember the 1990s, like MTV
Cribs?
Not Cribs, because that was bullshit. That was all lies. But when they pivoted to the Real World, do you remember the Real World? The Real World was like, the whole premise of the show is like what happens when you put these people and they stop acting polite and they start acting real.
Yeah.
I think we finally come full circle with these real estate agents where it's like, we don't need to see the Bentley. We don't need to see the bullshit. Show us the authenticity.
Yeah.
And I think that's how they'll monetize the eyeballs. This is my advice, but what the fuck does it mean? But I feel like this is what I'm seeing as the most pervasive.
I think the algorithm likes it.
Yeah.
What if you're authentic, but you still have a Bentley?
Listen, some people like
asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Well, I think it's different. You know why? Because you have a realty company, you have a mortgage company, you have an escrow company, but you also lead one of the largest entrepreneurial coaching and
event spaces.
Right? Event. I mean, it's a category unto itself. He focuses primarily on the Latino population, which of course, I mean, that's growing. You're going to have to say, because I can't say it, but why does it grow so fast?
Latino Americans, because Latinos like to have babies more than the rest.
That's a real thing, Ricky. That's
that is a real thing.
Well, listen, LDS people are definitely a close second.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mormons. Shout out to all my Mormon homies. But I think the truth of the matter is you have a sector, right? You have a vertical that I think subscribes to this aspirational content where they see it and they want to identify with that. Yeah. I think with Ricky as an example, you know, you're a good old boy, right? You're from the South and you have conservative, what seems to be, right? Like a conservative upbringing, and you're not flashy. And I think for a lot of people that aren't raised in that, you know, sort of this environment where, you know, Ferraris are sort of what's on their mind, right? People can identify with your story, right? So there's something for everybody, right? But again, without the aspirational content, nobody's going to subscribe. Nobody's going to follow. Nobody's going to comment. Right. Nobody's going to share. So it's like, you know, Ricky's got to say that in middle school and high school, I was putting shingles on a roof with my dad.
Yeah.
And then he's got to say, but look where I am now. Are you happy with what you're doing? Because if you're not, I can coach you, right, into being one of the most successful real estate agents in name your state. And I think that's what the EXP model probably provides for, which is you don't have to have this brick and mortar, right? You can recruit people, like you said, worldwide. I think it works, you know, social media is doing what it does, and everybody's going to leverage it how they leverage it.
Well, I think for Ricky, what helped him a lot is that he built a powerful brand, because that helps
like
with
a
everything.
personal brand.
Yeah. Because then that helps him. He has more reach. So now you send emails, people recognize your face, people recognize your style, and it makes it easier to recruit people.
I think somebody told me this interesting story. Oh, this is Dan Fleischman again. He said, can you name the CEO of United Airlines? Can you name the CEO of Southwest Airlines? CEO of JetBlue?
American.
Who's
Aeromexico?
Aeromexico.
What about that other one? The Virgin.
Exactly.
You know him.
Sir Richard Branson.
Yeah.
Why do you know Sir Richard Branson? And I put the Sir just to be polite. He is knighted after all. He built a personal brand.
Right.
He built a personal brand. Once you knew him, and all of his antics, because they are antics, but that's the personal brand component, right?
Well, the richest man on earth, on publicly, he bought a social media platform.
He had a cool reality show too.
Sir Richard Branson did. Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
but you're talking about Elon.
Elon just bought Twitter. He went all the way.
Yeah. But I think you have to have a personal brand. You have to have. Elon is very relatable because, he's very relatable because he's kind of a dork, but he also wants to act cool, right? Sir Richard Branson, though, right?
He's cool.
He's cool. He's super cool, right? So in any event, I think we can kind of close up with this final thought, which is concentrate on building your personal brand. Trying to build a corporate brand, right? If you own a real estate company in Tallahassee and you're like, it's called, whatever.
Realty.
Yeah, whatever, right? Trying to build that, no one's going to go to that page. If I go to Red Bull's Instagram page right now, there is nothing about Red Bull. It is everything about extreme sports.
Yeah.
That's how they're monetizing the eyeballs, right?
Red Bull smart.
Yeah. So if I'm going to Ricky's Instagram or if I'm going to your Instagram, I want to know what your life's about.
And like ESPN and some of these others, right? They're doing such a good job of the content. They're getting attention.
ESPN's content is like, some gal in high school dunking on someone.
Barstool.
Yeah, or Barstool is another great example.
Quick question before we wrap up. So I want to get your opinions on Zillow. So like Zillow, I believe, is the biggest real estate company right now, right?
Well,
they're more of a marketing company,
they're
right?
They've got the most eyeballs, let's just say.
And because they have the data, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Anybody can have the data. It's from MLS.
Yeah, but Zillow, if you look them up, their market cap is
it's just their market cap. Yeah,
they're the biggest.
So what's going to happen with real estate? 'Cause I know we have EXP, Real, Caps, Downlines, all that stuff. What about these companies like Zillow? Can they put realtors out of business?
No, they'll have to hire them if they did that. I mean, you're still going to have somebody doing the job.
What if they just get a better deal there, but just clicking though?
Well, then it comes down to service. Like if you look at the companies that try to do that, like discount type services, they don't have a lot of good reviews, right? People have bad experience. And then it all comes back to traditional agents.
I'll give you my opinion.
Could things get squeezed? Oh yeah. Like, down in Australia and stuff, like they do like 1-2%, no buyer agent involved.
But those agents would just end up paying Zillow to be on the platform.
What if
they don't want to?
What if AI, it's getting better and better and more intelligent. What if AI guarantees you that you're going to get the best price, best deal? Just click right here, no commissions.
I love it. Yeah. I'm all in. So.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I still think you're going to want somebody overseeing that.
You know what's not going to disappear? What we talked about earlier. If you build your personal brand, AI can't take over that.
Right. You can pivot if you have a brand, but like if that happens in real estate, it's gonna happen in every industry.
Here's my I'm not clairvoyant, Claire Huxtable. If anybody can identify with the Cosby Show, I'm not clairvoyant. I can't see the future, but I feel like there is going to be a model that's going to be tested eventually. And maybe Zillow will do it. Maybe Redfin will do it. Maybe I'll try to build a software company to do it.
They've been trying to do it.
I think Zillow's going to crack that.
Well, I didn't even tell you my idea is. It's a very good idea.
Maybe we could jump ahead of them.
Yeah. The idea is you post your home for sale, you have a reserve bid, and you just let people bid it up. And whoever wins, wins. And that's how the house gets sold. Now, there may still be agents, right, involved in a transaction, but I like to let the market dictate, right? And in an algorithmic world where you have social media that can reach far and wide, if I'm selling my home in the Hamptons, right, and there's a guy in Laguna Beach or a gal, I don't want to be too misogynistic. There's a guy. Anyway, he's in Laguna Beach and he wants to buy my house in the Hamptons. He's going to go to the website. He's going to open the app. He's going to see the home and listen. You can sponsor the ad, right? You can pay more to be at the top, kind of like Auto Trader, right? That type of thing. And he's going to bid, right? And who knows? Maybe you go live and there's a question and answer, right? Something like that. Maybe there's a walkthrough, virtual walkthrough. You can,
showing windows and stuff like that.
Absolutely, right? I see a future of that. I don't,
It'll be interesting. I think up to this point, I think the problem's been profitability. The discount brokers have all lost money.
Yeah.
And they hadn't been able to crack that code of being a profitable company, representing buyers and sellers, at a discount rate. That code hasn't been cracked. Could it be in the future? Sure.
But most agents though are not the smartest.
No.
And AI is the smartest.
You can say it.
You can say it?
Well, the thing about...
They're mostly women. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Good God. You can smile. It's a joke. It's my joke.
Like even people, I'm just going to keep it like that. People, they don't know how to type a paragraph, or they don't know how to reply to people. They don't know how to type up a condition.
ChatGPT.
Don't ChatGPT it, because ChatGPT is smarter.
Yeah. Well, they're smarter than us too.
Yeah. So if AI is going to guarantee me that I'm going to get the best price for this house, and I just click a button,
what's it guaranteeing it on though?
It's
historical data.
I think
historical data.
Yeah.
Well, that's how algorithms work today.
Yeah.
That's how algorithms work today. If algorithms can become sentient, right, then it's not based off of historical data.
Yeah.
Right. There's
there's AI underwriters now for banks.
What do you mean? There's AI at our company.
So there's a bank. They don't care about the income, the credit. Like even if you don't qualify based on the ratios, debt ratios.
This is in America?
AI approves the loan.
Interesting.
And they give you your options. Bam, bam, bam. You fund and record and close in like 5 days or less. There's a bank that we have that does that.
Interesting.
So I think I've heard about that. So going back to your question, what do you see?
What do I
think Zillow's going to come out with something that gets rid of agents?
Just like EXP and Real came out with like an innovative campaign. Yeah. I think AI is gonna eventually, I don't know when.
So you think agents could be in the same boat as travel agents?
That's what the Wall Street Journal article said today. Travel agents, all of these like used to be jobs are now replaced, right? Mm. So again, this is not my opinion. This is what the Wall Street Journal said, but the lifetime value or the foreseeable value of a real estate agent diminishes, right, over time.
Yeah.
Just like what they can do, what they can affect.
Well, Ricky, you're going to be fine because you have your personal brand.
Well, yeah, I'll be fine.
And other agents that build a personal brand are going to be fine. Is it going to affect and you're going to have to pivot 100%? And I think I don't know if in the next 5 years, 10 years, I don't know how close we are to that. Maybe you know better.
I mean, we employ a lot of AI in what we do, right? So there was a time where we had, what we do is business finance. So we underwrite business loans and fund them. There was a time where people were looking at certain KPIs of a business and trying to fit it into a matrix to understand if it fit their credit box. That doesn't happen anymore, right? As people are going through an application, we're already qualifying someone. So you've taken the role of an underwriter out of the equation, right? Yeah. And automated, underwriting for a business loan.
Right.
I think if you can do that, you could probably do that for a real estate agent. Are we there yet? No.
How many years from there? 5?
I don't think it goes away. I think the real estate agent just takes on a different type of responsibility.
I think that like some of the agents they're going to be very limited in the income they can make because they're going to do simple stuff.
That's kind of what I was getting at. Down in Australia, it's like a 1% commission. There's no buyer agent commission in that. It's like 1%, 2%, whatever.
Right.
With the commission lawsuits that's happening and the advancements in technology, I truly think that's a place that we could end up, where it's like a 1% fee, right, for the whole thing. I think that's a reality at some point. How long, I don't know, but I think that's the direction we're going in.
I don't think anyone foresaw Redfin and Zillow. I think that popped out of nowhere and disrupted the market. And when things like that happen, right, kind of like Uber, it's another example, right? It doesn't necessarily displace people. They just have to find a new role.
Where do you think Patrick Bet-David's neck goes? Have you heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
So, lawyers, they don't charge by the minute. So expensive lawyers, let's say they charge $1,000 an hour. And
I think our attorneys charge in 15-minute increments.
Okay. So if you call them for 40 seconds, they charge you 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, great.
That's the unit of measurement.
So Patrick created this app, Minect, where you could pay by the minute. So Andrew Tate's right there. You got Patrick, and he has a lot of celebrities, lawyers. And
you can access them.
So you could access them, FaceTime, text them, call them, and you get charged by the minute. So it's like an Uber app where you just click, boom, and you schedule it and done. So it's an app.
Yeah. There's another one out there.
Do you feel like this app can just take off and be like an Uber or something like that? Because now you have access to anybody and you pay by the minute.
I've seen these platforms. One of them was just started by the guy who started Zillow,
where you could charge people by the minute.
How much is it to talk to Andrew Tate or Patrick Bet-David?
I'll tell you right now.
Misogynistic people can't charge that much, I would imagine.
I'm sure it's like $100 a.
Yeah, maybe $100 a minute or something.
No, well, I'll tell you right now. Minect. So watch.
This is like a commercial for Minect.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's sponsored.
Well, I'm asking you your opinion. So you could book, Patrick Bet-David, you could message him starting at $100, or you could book a call 15 minutes is $9,000.
Jeez.
I honestly, I could see a future if what you're getting at is something that I'm sort of tracking. I would pay to talk to an experienced real estate agent in my area.
Is that where you're going with this? Like a app where they just charging to get some advice on the contract.
I'd love it. I'd love it. I'd say, this is the zip code that I want to be in. I don't want to meet you. I don't want to go to your brick and mortar office. I don't want to drive in your car. I don't want to see a bunch of listings.
Yeah.
I want $500 for 30 minutes of your time. This is what I'm looking for. Find it for me.
Because for me, like, if I want business advice, I'm going to skip everything. And I'm just going to like call you for 15 minutes, or I'm going to call Neil Patel for 15 minutes, or whoever I need.
Right.
Like if I'm buying a house in Alabama, I don't care about 1% commission. I'm going to call Ricky and I'm going to be like, hey, Ricky, I want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to like your assistant or any other agent. Yeah. And I don't want to do AI. I'll pay you your full commission. I want to work with you because I know he's the best, and because he's known, it opens so many doors.
Yeah.
But that's the way I see it. I want to get it from the best.
I could see a future for real estate agents where that is a real thing. Somebody could start an app, and I don't know why we're saying this on TV, because somebody's going to come up.
We should edit this one.
TV.
We're not going to push this one out. This will just be for our personal possession, like that 8mm movie with Nick Cage. But in any event, I think that there's truth to it, right? And I'm tracking what you're saying.
Yeah,
I would pay $500 to talk to a real estate agent if they were of your caliber.
Yeah.
Because I don't, you wouldn't waste my time. I'd book it in advance. There'd be a bunch of questions, right? Like a form I have to go through. What's the area you're looking for? How many bedrooms?
Yeah.
View. What direction do you want your house? Indian people, for example, they got to have the house facing north. I can say that legally.
Because I don't want to talk to anybody in Ricky's downline. I want to be like, hey, Ricky, I'll pay you $5,000 for an hour. Let's
what would that cost if I want to talk to you for an hour? Or not an hour, 15 minutes.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Okay. Like, what's the model? What's the supply and demand? How many people are trying to talk to me?
$500.
I'll give you 2,000
at least. Yeah, something like that.
Driving it up. I'll give it to you guys for $1 right now.
Right, $1,000.
Listen, I'm Jewish. I'll broker the deal.
Well, you got to think, man. 15 minutes. I mean, there's a lot of value in there. Well,
but you're not even an agent anymore to that extent, right? You're not like a listing agent. You're not doing stuff like that. I just mean like an agent.
I still advise people on stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Fine. You're for sale. I get it.
I still advise people on stuff.
Well, let's do it.
I could call Josh Altman right now.
It's not that hard.
Josh Altman?
Yeah, I like that guy. You're going to be speaking with Josh Altman in 2 weeks. Yeah.
You're going to really call him?
Goldbarlive.com. Go there, get your tickets.
Yeah.
Tickets still available in Times Square where the Heisman Trophy is presented.
Yeah.
Josh Altman.
Paddle'em Theater.
Paddle'em Theater. Mm-hmm. You going to call Josh Altman?
No, after. We got to go.
Call him after. Okay, we'll wrap this up. Dude, such a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, you too, man.
Seriously, man.
I appreciate
Thank
you guys.
Come on anytime when you're in LA.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ricky.
Cool. That's a wrap, guys. We'll see you next time.
Later.